Oh, you meant love, the best of this pure passion. A set plug to grow love and drip fashion. Can we rise to the top? Baby, I'm just asking. Light it up, pass it around and drift past them. With this loyalty, we like royalty. I like how I spoil you and you spoil me. Me and you together gon' get where we need to be. I hate when you away, I be needing you close to me. It's glamorous, I'm stuck in your vibe. Good love, I see stuck in your eye. All honor with us, baby, no lie. Joyful from the heart with faith, with no cries. If this was the love that mama was talking about, I always had your back, I'll never be walking.
Thank y'all so much for all the support in our last video about us moving to Texas. We really appreciate it. Make sure y'all stay tuned for that empty house tour. That'll be our next video, so make sure you tune in because I know y'all want to see what the upgrade is looking like.
Yeah,
period.
That's a video that y'all do not want to miss, we promise. But for this video, we basically wanted to break it down and share with you guys why we moved. And not even why we wanted to move, but y'all, why we had to move.
Just everything, honestly.
Everything. Where do we begin?
Let's begin with the apartment complex, just the management.
The apartment itself.
Yeah. So we had been living in there for about almost 4 years. And throughout that time, it's been different management. And they're never on the same page. Like when they switch over, it's just a disaster. It just was so unprofessional and just, I don't know, just unprofessional. There's no other way to say it.
When we say like not even, they wouldn't even answer the phone. Like, how are you supposed to
put in any maintenance requests or ask any questions or call if you need help?
Anything. Like, you're my landlord. I'm supposed to be able to contact you whenever, honestly. But the fact that I'm calling you during normal business hours several times and never get a return call or anything.
It's crazy. Especially when you're paying your rent on time or before. Like,
right.
You would think. So when it was time for us to sign another lease, they didn't even answer the phone. Keep in mind, y'all, our lease had ended. So we're basically staying in an apartment like
with no lease.
No lease, no nothing, because they didn't answer the phone for us to re-sign a lease. We're calling, no one's answering. Finally.
Why are we having to call? Why aren't they calling us like, hey, you guys are staying in a place, you know, with no lease? Like, what the
It just was so crazy. We finally got a hold of them maybe like a month or two after we were supposed to re-sign our lease. We finally signed it. And that was just unprofessional. Like, everything was just so unprofessional.
And y'all, the apartment complex that we stayed in, like this one, it was gated. Like, you know, you needed either like a gate opener or you needed a key or something to come through the gate. But 9 times out of 10, somewhere, some way, either the gate was broken and you couldn't even like it was stuck open. So it really didn't matter if you had a gate opener or not, or people would just like prop it open. Yeah, with rocks and all types of stuff. The area that we stayed in wasn't the best in Colorado Springs, I will say that. Like, it was just something that I found, you know, before I even moved there. And I'm really grateful that I even found that place, honestly, because the apartment complex itself, like on the inside, it was pretty nice.
Modern. It was very modern. I think that's why we stayed so long, is because for the price and for what it looked like, we wasn't really gonna find nothing else.
Exactly. Like on the outside, it was just a little ghetto at times, like between the homeless people, and it was a few druggies on the street every now and then. Like, we would just hear some crazy stuff if we left our window open. But, you know, because people would just be propping the gates open and because the gates would be broken and stuff, sometimes they would kind of be wandering around like too close to home, okay?
Yeah.
A little too close to home. And it's just like, don't nobody want to deal with that. Like, be worried about cars and even just walking outside at night. Like, it was one time I was leaving for work like 5 something in the morning. I mean, homeless dude, I mean, from what I could tell was homeless. Visibly, he looked homeless, you know, all of the bags and just the way he looked, you know, hygiene wise, was sitting right outside the door. And, you know, basically when I was coming out was like, can you hold the door open for me? And I'm like,
like, what do you say or do in that situation?
He looked crazy, and I'm like, sure.
I remember she told me about that. She was
I'm like, did I just let in a killer when my girlfriend is in there? Like,
yeah, you did. I don't know.
You know, luckily, like, we stayed on the 2nd floor. Like, it was, not even like the people that didn't live there, y'all. Let's talk about the people that did live there.
Let me go ahead and say this. So when we first lived there, well, she moved in like a couple months before I moved in. Anyways, when we first moved in, we were downstairs on the 1st floor. Our neighbors down there, it was just crazy. Like a lot of arguing. I know everybody argue.
No.
Couples.
Don't
I know, but I'm just
understand.
saying, like, it was like, I'm scared, let's call the police arguing. Like, it was like, is she hurt? Like, is she okay?
Is her daughter okay? Is her son okay?
Yeah, because it was help. I mean, and our walls were so thin, like paper thin. We can hear people throwing up. We can hear them brushing their teeth. We can hear them showering. We can hear them talking. Conversations. So imagine hearing someone screaming for help and finding out that he went to a mental a psych ward because he had put his hands on her and the daughters, and it was so much, y'all. So then we moved to the second floor thinking that would be better, and we was getting it from each end. Do y'all hear me? Across the hall.
It was like
next door.
No one was as bad as them, but it was just all around us.
I would say Stephanie across the hall was worse than them downstairs. I'd rather deal with them downstairs. Nah,
because Stephanie wasn't screaming for help, and she didn't have kids and stuff.
Okay, I guess that's true, but she was
annoying.
Just
annoying and loud for no reason. Like, y'all, we had this girl and her boyfriends. She had multiple. It looked like multiple dudes coming in and out.
Definitely.
But she stayed across the hall from us, and they argued. If not every day, every other day.
Yes.
And it's not just like your normal argument. Like, we sitting in our living room, not only are they in the hallway right outside of our door screaming at the top of their lungs, really heard. Yeah. But she's throwing shoes and they're hitting our
hangers.
Hangers.
1, 2,
counting.
3. Ma'am, it is 4 a.m. Like, nobody has time.
All types of times.
And then next door to us, they was nice, but they argued a lot, and she sounded like a drill sergeant. And it was just our mirrors would be shaking on the walls because they slamming stuff. Like,
and she tried to act like we just didn't hear that.
Every time we said, "Hey." They were sweet though, but when they argued, they was really in there banging like they was on the street for real.
We just happy that we in this apartment now because none of that applies. I mean, so far so good. Yeah. Like the place that we're at, the area, like we've even been asking people like, you know, this is where we stay. Like, is this good, bad? And they're like, oh, y'all are straight.
Even the AT&T guy came and gave us a little rundown, and he basically said we in a good place. So you know, anything can happen anywhere, but as long as we safe.
That's all we care about.
Right. All right, so the second topic on why we needed to leave. You go first. I don't even know where to start with that one.
Oh, so we getting into that?
We getting into that.
All right, so we haven't even been living here for a full week. And since we've been here, we have got more support from strangers, people that we just kind of knew already out here, you know. We have got more support since we've been here than the whole 4 or 5 years we was in Colorado.
Facts.
Not even just support, but like genuine.
Yeah, that word.
Support.
Genuine support.
Not, you know, the wishy-washy leech support. Like,
we going there. To say the least, we ran into some weird individuals in Colorado. I don't even know where to start. Like,
we have a few story times just based off of like the people that we met in Colorado, but we're not gonna go that deep in this video today, but we will say that like, you just gotta be careful who you bring to the top with you because it's not meant for everybody to come to the top with you.
No.
And
or be around you and you have access to you. Yeah. You gotta learn how to weed those people out. And I would say that when I first met her, that's a problem that I had. Like, she would be trying to tell me and I'm just like, you know? And no, to be honest, and it wasn't just me being stupid. I mixed it in with a few things. Insecurity, fear of being alone, not having a friend group. You know what I mean? The time, history that you have in a friendship, you tend to overlook things because you've been friends for so long or you want to be friends with this person. But if a person is showing you red flags, the best thing to do is to remove yourself. It's okay to love from a distance. It's okay to stop being friends with people. It's okay to move on, grow apart. That is fine. And that's one thing that I used to have a problem with. And I've been through a couple situations that kind of woke me up from that. Not even kind of woke me the fuck up, okay? And it took for the disrespect for me to respect myself. And I'm grateful for it. I don't regret it at all, because at the end of the day, now I learned and I know, and I didn't bring it to Texas. So I feel like I'm able to pay attention to people that don't deserve to be around me. Yeah. So I'm grateful for everything that happened.
And actually act on the red flags, not just try to ignore them because
or collect them.
Or collect them because you want that person to be exactly how you are, and that's not always the case.
Trying to mold them into the person that I want them to be when you cannot do that.
You cannot do that.
We're just not meant for each other. And it's okay. Like, that is okay. It is okay. But I'm happy that it happened to me like now rather than later or then, because it's been like a whole year. But I'm happy that it, you know what I mean, happened, because if not, I would have been in Texas trying to do the same thing. Especially when we keep on going up to the top. Like, you have to really be careful with who you let around you.
I'm so proud of you just for, you know, like,
thanks,
growing in that area, because I used to be like, I think we kind of already talked about this in the previous video, but I just used to be like, that's not your friend. Like, that is not your friend.
She definitely did. And it just took for me to listen, to open my eyes, and I'm so happy that it did, because looking back, I'm just like, that was never my friend. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I'm also happy that we moved from Colorado, because those type of memories are like there. You know what I'm saying? And
driving certain places.
It just be like, oh, remember.
And you don't want to remember. Like,
even though you might remember, or it's because it's a memory, like, to be reminded of that shit daily, or, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a chapter in our life that is closed, and we don't want to be reminded
of
really any of that.
It's over and done with. We had fun. We moved on.
But that's not to say that everyone in Colorado was just sour. Like,
oh no,
we met some very good people in Colorado too. We did. And even leaving there, you know, it was a few good people, like a few good people that,
not even,
you know, just a select few good people that, you know, we could still say are friends, but I would say for the most part, like, a lot of that stuff is just dead. Like,
it was just like the no support for me and the wanting to be apart for me.
Yeah, like, you can't.
it doesn't work like that. You can't expect for us to do something for you when you've done nothing or don't want to do anything for us. It'd be like the hating vibes for me. So I in my past, I let people use me because I felt bad, because I felt like I had more to give or whatever, they act like they didn't have. But no, you got something in that brain that you can share. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you don't want to share because you don't want me to have one up or whatever the case may be. We ain't even gonna go there. I'm so excited to be out here because, like I said, we done got so much support here. We only been here for less than a week. And there's YouTubers out here, there's content creators that we can just connect with, that we
network
that we can all do something for each other. I give you something, you give me something. Like, that's what it's about. Who don't want to come in wanting something? You know, who just want to give? Like, come on, that's not realistic.
And there's Black creators here.
That part,
you know, there was some black people in Colorado Springs, but
barely.
It's a lot here. And we just feel like this was the move for us. This is where we need to be for what we're trying to do. Like, that kind of brings us to our next and final little reason on why we moved. And, you know, it's just new opportunities. Like, there wasn't enough happening in Colorado for me and for her, for GlamDuchandmi, like, for what we wanted to do, how we was trying to see ourselves elevate this year, next year, every year.
I was saying,
it's just like Colorado doesn't seem like it was it. And even going to Denver, you know, every now and then it was just like, okay, this is cool, but we want to be in a city where
it's moving.
Like,
and everybody is trying to do business or market or connect. Like, nobody in Colorado, we didn't really know. We knew like one couple, and we just met them before we moved. Not even met them, but we just heard about them before we moved. So
that's it.
We didn't know any YouTubers there. We've been knowing YouTubers here before we even moved, you know? We already connected with one, so.
There's so much for us out here. Like, oh my gosh, y'all already know. I mean, if y'all been to Dallas, if you live in Dallas, if you know anything about it, like, you know that that's the place to go for Black entrepreneurs. Like, young entrepreneurs. Like, there's even some of the people that we knew, they were saying, like,
you can make money doing anything here.
Doing like anything, y'all.
There's so much money being made in Dallas, and that's what we're looking for. Like,
exactly that.
Nothing but elevation. I feel like Colorado was a great place to like start and get that foundation, but for us to stay there for years and years, I feel like it would have took longer, or it would have been a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, but there it was just nobody to connect with or collab. But we have to like fly and do all the. Here we can go. down the street.
Literally.
And don't get me wrong, first of all, I don't regret moving to Colorado. Like,
right.
if I didn't move there and she didn't move there, like I came from Iowa, she came from Kansas, right?
How would we have met?
How
would we have started the YouTube channel? How would we have done, like,
how would I have found the love of my life?
Yeah. There's no regret in that. Like,
none whatsoever. No situation that we've been through, not us going there, period. I mean, everything was supposed to happen exactly how it should. Like,
but staying there for even another year, like I can't picture staying there for another year.
No,
like
it just everything didn't seem right.
We would have been doing too much of the same thing. Like we would have had to really like branch out to take us to the next level there.
Yeah.
Like,
and we wasn't really doing anything because where we lived at, we would have to drive about an hour and a half away in order to even be in the scene, if there was a scene. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
it's like if we gonna move to Denver, we might as well move to where we know is something.
Right.
Like Denver is just like, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't get me wrong. I like the mountains and everything like that. But
yeah, we miss the mountains. Like,
yeah,
you know.
I felt like toward the end, it was kind of like holding us back. Like, it was just, I don't know, old news.
Yeah.
You know, like it's time to go somewhere else, start over, and create new memories and just elevate. I'm gonna keep saying elevate because we are literally doing that.
And
so
that's what happens. Like, look what happened when she moved from Iowa to Colorado. Look what happened when I moved from Kansas to Colorado. Like, it's only been 4 years.
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen in these next 4 years?
Yeah.
Look what's already happened in the past 4 years. Like,
and we're already on the way. Well, on the way.
right.
So,
like, we already kind of got our foot in there. Now it's time to just
take off.
Really take
off,
y'all.
If you know a friend, a sister, a cousin, tell them to subscribe to the tribe. Let's grow the tribe. Like, let's get it. All right, y'all. So make sure y'all stay tuned for these lit videos we about to bring to y'all. Nice little vlogs. So there's more to do here.
Yeah.
Like, we just
even the vlogs around the apartment.
Yeah.
It's finna
give different vibes.
It's finna be lit, y'all. Like,
new content coming soon.
Yeah, we got a lot to show y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video with a Post Noti Gang shout out. This video's Post Noti Gang shout out goes to LaLucia. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate your love beyond words.
And if you want a chance to be next video's Post Noti Gang shout out, be sure to comment down Post Noti Gang.
If you like the vibes, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
It's Dutch.
And me, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Soon as you peep my glam, you can ride with me. You know it feel good, growing ties with me. Good vibes, take trips, hit the skies with me. You know it's real love, it can't hide, you see. Soon as you peep my glam, you can ride with me. You know it feel good, growing ties with me. Good